It's Peaches here, and this is Peaches Pit Party, the podcast. A lot of puh sounds with that title. A replay of today's full show, which you can hear weekday afternoons live on K-Barrel 101. I hope you like what I have to say, and if not, well, then I'm sorry, not sorry. Enjoy. All right, here we are, Monday, October 7th, 2024. Good afternoon. It is Peaches Pit Party kicking off here. 208-535-1015 is the number to get a hold of me. We have so much stuff to give away going on right now, and you can enter for each one of these contests through both the K-Barrel 101 and Alt 101 apps. We are currently giving away that sweet Yamaha RevStar Element RSE20 electric guitar. Thanks to No Limit Guitar Company for helping us out with that, as well as our K-Barrel Rockin' Halloween playlist. You can also earn a bonus entry into this giveaway for this sweet guitar by going into either No Limit Guitar Company location, buying something from the store. We're also teaming up with Wackerly Subaru, Wackerly Auto Center, and Grease Monkey for our haunted meetups. Last week, we were at the Haunted River in Manan. This week, I'll be broadcasting this Wednesday from 4 to 6 at Wackerly Auto Center in Idaho Falls. Stop by, get your name on our list. That'll get you into our haunted meetup this Friday at the Haunted Mill in Teton. Last but certainly not least here, I was extremely excited to hear about this getting announced at the Mountain America Center because I've been a fan for this guy for years now. Back when I worked at TMZ, had to do that long commute from Seal Beach to Marina Del Rey, I would listen to this man's podcast called Your Mom's House. I'm talking about the Tom Segura coming to the Mountain America Center, bringing his Come Together tour to the Mountain America Center on Saturday, April 26th. You can win tickets before they even go on sale, when they go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. by filling out that form on both the K-Barrel 101 and Alt 101 apps. Like I said, so much stuff to give away, which is why you should have both those apps on your phone and keep them there. And I was scrolling Ask Reddit, trying to find a question for To Peach Their Own later during the 4 p.m. hour. I thought this would be funny to talk about. Somebody just asked, guys with extremely loud vehicles, why do you do this to everyone? And I was thinking, what's more pretentious? Driving an extremely loud muscle car, driving a giant lifted truck that's higher than my head, almost looks like a monster truck out in the roadway, or driving a loud, super loud Harley? I couldn't really come up with an answer for that myself. I was just scrolling the comment section here, and people were making jokes saying most of those guys that drive extremely loud cars, they're still asleep during the day because they stay up all night driving around aimlessly, annoying people trying to sleep. My friend Bobby at the time, when he had the 1972 Datsun 240Z, he would intentionally just rev the engine. We would drive down Main Street, Huntington Beach, and he would do it to try to attract the ladies, right? Well, he ended up attracting a lot of older men who were like, oh, I used to drive one of these back in the day. It's cool. I'm glad it's in mint condition. Then he totaled the car. Man, I wish he still had that. I would love to be able to have a classic car like that. Do I miss hearing the vroom, vroom pulling up to my parents' house? Not really. A high-tech startup company. I've talked about this particular subject on the show before. This high-tech startup company has been trying to bring back the woolly mammoth. And the engineers there believe they'll complete their mission within 4 years. The idea is to use advanced genetic techniques to revive the animal, blending their DNA with DNA of modern elephants. It's like Jurassic Park, but with mammoths instead of dinosaurs. Why would we want the woolly mammoth back? That's my big question. Out of all the animals, out of all the extinct animals you could have chosen, you went with the woolly mammoth. Are we supposed to mess with stuff like this? I think not. If they're saying it's like Jurassic Park, why would we want to follow those movies when all of those movies end in catastrophe? It's like the companies that are starting to build those robots that look like humans. We've seen Terminator. I mean, come on now. But I guess we'll have to mark our calendars and stay tuned. We'll see if this company can pull this off by the year 2028. Imagine going to the zoo and seeing the woolly mammoth exhibit. It'd be pretty weird. I know the Shot Clock Sports Update is coming up here in just a few. I just figured I would talk about this for its own break because the Utah Hockey Club is close to the area. They had their first season game in Salt Lake City on Tuesday last week, but they've already got some fan complaints about watching their games. The team is playing in the Delta Center, which was built in 1991 for the Utah Jazz, right? So fitting in this 200 by 85-foot National Hockey League rink has made a bunch of the seats in the arena not ideal for seeing the full ice surface. I saw some posts about it on Facebook, just because it was funny to see somebody complain about their seats, and they only saw like one half of the rink. The other half they had to watch on the Jumbotron, so I would totally see why this is complaint-worthy. An estimated 6,000 of the 16,000 seats in the Delta Center are listed as obstructed view. There are renovations scheduled for the Delta Center to make it more hockey-friendly, but those won't be done until 2027. So I guess if you really want to go to a Utah Hockey Club game, you might as well wait till then, right? You don't necessarily want to pay all this money to show up and then watch half the game on a big TV. That's what I've always talked about with concerts and sporting events in general. If you're that far back to where you need to depend on the Jumbotron, you're much better off just watching the game at home. And now this is your Shot Clock Sports Update. We just talked about how fans are having trouble seeing the full game at the Delta Center for the Utah Hockey Club. They had their first season game, I should say, in Salt Lake City on Tuesday. Now let's move on to basketball. There was a very good chance that Bronny James could have ended up as a teammate of Steph Curry. A new report states that during the second round draft on June 27th, the Golden State Warriors were going to take LeBron's son with the 52nd pick ahead of the Lakers, who had the 55th pick. The big idea was to pick Bronny to entice the older James to sign with them in free agency, but apparently some back-channel communications led to the Warriors to scrap that plan and allow the Lakers to take Bronny. The Savannah Bananas, for baseball news here, the independent baseball team that plays with amped-up rules like fans recording outs by catching foul balls, are expanding their reach into stadiums next year. The Bananas will play in 3 football stadiums, as well as 18 Major League Baseball ballparks. The owner of the league, Jesse Cole, said sellouts are expected at each of the venues. We played in front of 1 million fans this past year, Cole said. We're playing in front of 2 million fans next year. Maybe that sounds boastful, but our wait list is at 3 million right now. I don't know if you've seen the footage of the Savannah Bananas online. They look like so much fun to watch, okay? I've been wanting to go to one of those games, and it looks like I'll be waiting a while for that. And last but not least here, alcohol will now be served until 4 a.m. in VIP suites at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, the home of the Clippers. The new law pushes the limits beyond the usual 2 a.m. closing time. To be clear, the new rule only applies to the VIP area and not the rest of the Intuit Dome. If you're just a regular guy standing outside the red velvet rope after 2 a.m., you're out of luck. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. You can have Buddy the Elf at your house this Christmas. Well, it doesn't look anything like Buddy the Elf. You should see this. It's from Home Depot. They're selling a life-sized, quote-unquote, Buddy the Elf lawn decoration for Christmas, and it talks. When you move close to it, it says, "Hey, what's your name? My name's Buddy." It's on sale for $200 at homedepot.com. It might be already, for the most part, I would think sold out because people want this creepy viral decoration for their lawn. I'm looking at it on the Home Depot website. It has 3 out of 5 stars. Probably from people saying, "Hey, this looks nothing like Will Ferrell." If I were Will Ferrell, I think I'd be sort of mad about this, but at the same time, I think I would buy it and just have that at my house to be like, "Oh yeah, that's supposed to be my character." You know how big of a flex that would be? Just to say, I have myself dressed as an elf from a very successful Christmas movie on the front lawn of my mega mansion. That'd be pretty cool. Saw a great question in one of the Facebook groups that I'm a part of. What are some of the most mind-boggling things you've ever seen at a concert? Obviously, most answers I cannot repeat on the air, but you could imagine like pretty much any Rammstein concert is going to be completely unhinged, off the rails. I was thinking about it for myself. I think it was Ozfest back in 2017 when Megadeth was performing. Someone started a fire on the lawn behind us. It just started to smell like a fire. I turn around, I see some giant orange flame just right in the middle of the lawn there. I think it was more so a pit. It wasn't like an actual like wildfire. It was controlled, or at least I hope it was. But people started being funny in this comment section here. People sitting down in the audience. I noticed this at the Judas Priest show. You could tell there was a lot of older people at that show because they were all into it in the very beginning. Then about 10 songs in, I noticed those sections that were standing up are now sitting down, not moving. They're just tired. And Judas Priest performed 18 songs? I think it was 18. They put on one great show at the Mountain America Center. To really think that band is that old, they started out in 1969, had their first record out in 1974. 50 years later, they're still doing shows, traveling across the country. I wonder what that's like to be a 73-year-old man on a tour bus needing to sleep in one of those little cots. I don't think are they really on a tour bus? I think they would be traveling by, I don't know, they'd be flying everywhere. I don't think they'd be traveling by bus across the country. I think they have their own planes that they'd be using for a band that big like Judas Priest. Some news here when it comes to rock and metal. I didn't see this till now. Breaking Benjamin is teasing something later this month, October 16th. At recent shows, the band has been displaying 1016 on stage for a few seconds, with fans wondering, what could it mean? What are they doing? Sleep Token didn't officially post this. I think it was Rock Feed or one of those pages. Let me go ahead and see who exactly it was. Rock Sound posted this, and it said Tuesday, period. And the picture is just all black with the red word worship. Doesn't say anything about Sleep Token. You just know when it comes to the word worship with rock and metal, that's Sleep Token. So I'm assuming that, considering Tuesdays are the days that tours get announced for the most part, I'm thinking Sleep Token is going to announce the Teeth of God Tour Part 2. And I'm hoping they come to either Salt Lake City or Boise. I haven't heard anything about anywhere close to the area, which would be awesome if they did, because every single time I post potential tour news on the K-Bear page, somebody in the comment section goes, Mac, question mark? It'd be really cool. Don't forget also, there is the Portneuf Health Trust Amphitheater in Pocatello. I mean, come on now. Don't just rely on the Mountain America Center. That'd be so cool. I've been wanting to see Sleep Token for a long while. You can find out, actually, I'll keep you updated on all of our social media pages at KBear 101 FM. You can also see what shows are officially coming to the area by going to that concert calendar at riverbendmediagroup.com. I have no idea where the headline starts, and this headline's confusing in a way, but it's also funny at the same time. It reminds me of the Hard Times article. Here's the headline: Mexican Coke exit fentanyl tour following drunken incident at Salt Lake City show. Yeah, now you probably understand why I'm confused. Fentanyl, Mexican Coke, and asbestos sound like a cocktail that should never be combined, but it was actually a tour with a hardcore act, with the hardcore act Fentanyl being supported by the Houston-based hardcore act Mexican Coke and Canadian metal punk act Asbestos. Although now it seems that it'll just be Fentanyl and Asbestos for the rest of the tour, because Mexican Coke has exited the tour following a drunken incident at a show in Salt Lake City. According to the thread in the r/hardcore subreddit, Mexican Coke's vocalist, whose name doesn't seem to be publicly known, caused an incident after getting belligerently drunk. The user on Reddit, his name is 1994 Honda Accord. He described the incident. Let me see this here. Title says that the vocalist from Mexican Coke was in Salt Lake City on their tour with Asbestos and Fentanyl, and the vocalist for Mexican Coke spent the entire show drinking in excess, treating young concert goers poorly, cussed out the audience, and continued to egg on a group of drunk punks in the audience, and then refused to start performing until he had another beer in his hand. What a lineup that is right there. I'm shocked we didn't have that on the concert calendar. Fentanyl, Mexican Coke, and Asbestos. And every year around Halloween, we always ask the question, what are the most popular candies for Halloween to give out? Well, top 3, here you go. M&M's, then Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, and then Sour Patch Kids. Out of all the other candies, I'm shocked by Sour Patch Kids. Skittles number 4, Starburst 5, Hot Tamales at 6, which is funny because my dad, he cannot stand spicy food. He's the type of guy to sweat eating garlic bread. But he can down a whole box of Hot Tamales, or at least he used to. And then candy corn at 7, which is one of those controversial candies. The people that hate candy corn are always the loudest. Go enjoy eating your wax crayons, you weird candy corn fans. That type of thing. The least popular Halloween candy in 2024, you got circus peanuts at number 1, which I've never had. I can't say if they're good or bad. Peanut butter kisses at number 2. Wait, why did candy corn make number 3 on the least popular list, but then number 7 on the most popular? That doesn't make any sense. Necco wafers at 4. Now, I might stand alone with this. I think Necco wafers are pretty good. I like them, okay? I like Smarties, I like Sweet Tarts, and I especially like Necco wafers. Every year I tell myself I'm going to watch a horror movie each night during the month of October. Now we're 7 days into October, and I haven't watched a single one. I could pick up the slack tonight, watch something. I screenshotted these lists someone made for 31 days of horror on Netflix, and it shows 31 horror movies that you should watch on Netflix. The same goes for Prime Video, Hulu, etc. Clearly someone did some research and made this for people to enjoy. I was looking down the list, and I've seen a couple of them, but I've been meaning to watch more so the classics. How about I watch horror movies chronologically? Start from like Nosferatu, Phantom of the Opera, then make my way down the line there. Do something like that. I need to watch the classics for sure, just to say I've seen them. Nightmare on Elm Street, I've already seen that. I've already seen Psycho. Would like to see more of the hidden ones. So if you have any horror movie suggestions, you can message us on Facebook. Message me on Facebook as well, at Brendan Peach. Feet people are extremely weird. Arizona man Jesse Michael Johnson, he's been apprehended for allegedly hiding under cars at a car wash to get a glimpse of women's feet. Yeah, surveillance footage taken at a Superstar car wash shows Johnson crawling under the SUVs of women who were vacuuming their vehicles, all of the victims wearing flip-flops. Johnson has been cited for similar behavior in the past, has been admitted to being attracted to women's feet. Hey, there's websites for that, bud. There's no need to be weird about it. He's facing charges of a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, it's like, dude, you can just find that on the internet along with a whole bunch of other stuff. If you're that into it, man, go for it. Do it that way. Don't be getting yourself in trouble and being weird and hiding under people's cars. What a dummy. And supposedly there's a new online addiction out there. Forget gambling. There are people who are just downright addicted of going to websites like Zillow, for example, and looking at different houses. Not even wanting to buy them, just looking at them constantly, looking at these different places to possibly live at. For me to do something like that, I do it every once in a while, but then I get mad, I get frustrated because I know I won't be able to afford that house unless I wanted to put myself in massive, massive debt. Maybe I could buy the house down the line, but then eventually get kicked out of it for not paying the bills and become homeless. Yeah, woohoo! That's always fun. I do like that show Zillow Gone Wild, or at least the posts they make on Instagram of these very weird houses out there. Be as weird as you want with your house. It's your house, okay? Forget the HOA. Do what you want. Time for a very fun to Peach Their Own question. I posted this in the K-Bearer 101 Idaho Rock and Metal Facebook group. I believe it was loyal listener Mandy that shared a video of some dude talking about this particular question. And I wanted to ask it for To Peach Their Own earlier. I just didn't get to it till now. Even if you were handed free tickets and they were performing in your hometown, what band would you still not see live? If you're a fan of K-Bear, if you listen to me on the regular, you know my number one answer is Sublime. Do not care for them at all. Will never see them. I don't care if I was handed a VIP meet and greet with the band. No, thank you. Weezer, same way. Not the biggest fan at all of theirs. Would love to hear your answer, 208-535-1015. Even if you were handed free tickets and they were performing in your hometown, what band would you still not see live? Let me know. Hey, K-Bear, thanks for calling in. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, bud?
Hey, Stuart, if you were handed free tickets and they were performing in your hometown, what band would you still not see live?
You will never catch me at a country concert.
Oh,
Never.
I thought you were about to say Nickelback, to be quite honest.
You know, I might actually go just to, reinforce my criticism.
Well, what if they turn out to be great? Come on.
I'd probably still criticize them in secret. Just keep it to myself. I got an image to uphold.
That's right. That's right. You've already established how much you hate them. You got to keep it that way.
I got to keep it that way.
Maybe if Sublime were to rescue me from a burning building, maybe I'll change my mind.
Would you go if it was the original singer, though?
I'd be freaked out because isn't he dead? It'd be funny if somebody it's sort of like the closest you can get to the original lead singer, right? Because it's his son, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not as close as you're gonna get.
And he's around my age. I'm assuming I think he is, but I don't know. I did not. That latest song feel like that is the most generic thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it kind of just feels like they wrote it out on a form sheet. It's like, okay, we got this tempo. Let's just throw a couple things in here, splash it up here. We're good.
Yeah. It's more so like, hey, we're Sublime. We're coming back with the lead singer's son. This song's about to be popular, and of course, all the LA radio stations are playing the crap out of it. Hence why I hate Sublime in the first place.
Right. No, I get it.
Once you've heard What I Got 1,000 times, it makes you want to, do terrible things. Even if you were handed free tickets and they were performing in your hometown, what band would you still not see live? Let me know. 208-535-1015 for To Peach Their Own. Idaho's only rock station, K-Bear 101. If you're just now tuning in, today is To Peach Their Own question. Even if you were handed free tickets and they were performing in your hometown, what band would you still not want to see live? A popular answer with this one was Motley Crue, only because, well, they're not as good as they used to be. Let's keep it that way. Let's just put it that way. They used to be quite a crazy, crazy live show from what I've seen, and age gets to you. Not every band out there can be Judas Priest, who still kills it even though they're in their 70s. I mean, Motley Crue should have retired a long time ago. Didn't they go on like a farewell tour, and then that was supposed to be it, but then they ended up coming back? Someone else put Kiss on this list. I saw Kiss live. It was a weird situation with that. The owner of In-N-Out Burger, back when I used to work at In-N-Out, she wanted to celebrate the 70th anniversary of In-N-Out by bringing Kiss to a theater in Los Angeles, and all the employees in the Southern California region, at least, got to go to that. And I got to see Kiss right there, right up in the first row. Oh, good for you, Peaches. That's right. Taylor Swift was on this list. Pretty much I was trying to omit all those answers of any pop star ever because it's not my favorite genre type of answer. Like I saw anything country. I was hoping I wouldn't see any answer like that, like anything in the country realm or something like that, but I did see some shocking answers too. Like Foo Fighters, Tool, Limp Bizkit, Electric Callboy, which if you're not a fan of Electric Callboy, that's a little odd to me. Electric Callboy is such a fun band. Super nice dudes. The music's great. This person wrote Electric Callboy and Foo Fighters, which this is why the segment's called To Peach Their Own, because everyone has their own answer. Even if your answer is real weird, let me know. 208-535-1015. Even if you were handed free tickets and they were performing in your hometown, what band would you still not see live? If I don't get another answer, I'll just move on to something else, I guess. Hey, K-Bear, how's it going?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. You here to answer today's To Peach Their Own question?
Yes, I am. And the band I would never go and see is Greta Van Fleet.
I did see someone had a silly joke in here, one of those cute online nicknames for the band. I think it was Greta Van Zeppelin.
Right. And that's the thing is they're trying to bring Zeppelin-esque music back in the modern day, and I just don't think it works.
I'm glad they're doing what they want to, but at the same time, the refusal of the acknowledgement of saying, hey, they said basically, we don't sound anything like Led Zeppelin, even though they do.
Right.
It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, if you were to say, okay, we're trying our best to sound like them, then maybe they would have been more accepted. I don't know. The hate has been moved on from those guys to now Sleep Token, and Ghost haters have even moved on to Sleep Token. I feel like Sleep Token's now the band to target online.
And the thing is, I love Sleep Token. I mean, they're actually probably one of my most listened to bands right now.
Oh, they're fantastic. They're a great, great, great band, and I'm glad that they're as popular as they are, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, thank you for that answer. I appreciate it.
Hey, no worries. Have a good day.
You too. Hey, K-Bear, how's it going?
Good, you man?
I'm doing fantastic. What's your answer for today's To Peach Their Own question?
Anything to do with Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks. Are you ready for that Tom Segura show? I don't know if you're a Tom Segura fan or not, but he has had that long bit about Garth Brooks being a mass murderer, you know?
Well, I haven't heard about the mass murderer, but I heard rumors that he's a dime store cowboy. So, but some of his songs, the one song has offended me a little bit, but so anything to do with Garth Brooks.
Oh, great answer, man. Great answer. Yeah, it's funny. Tom had this whole bit about how, like, he would so people would actually comment on Garth's photos because of Tom, saying, "Where are the bodies, Garth?" And
Right.
Tom got shadow banned from Garth Brooks on social media. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, thank you for that answer. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good one. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoy the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.